This video, I'm making a wine stand that's a sculpture that stores a bottle of wine and I'm giving it away as a wedding present. Thanks for clicking play. Welcome to my bomb shelter basement workshop where I'm going to be making something quite special today. Ever since I made my first wood carving sculpture thing, my friends Sean and Spike have been pestering me to make one for them. And they're actually tying the knot in 2 weeks' time, so I thought it would make a perfect wedding present. But I don't like doing the same thing twice unless you're giving me money. So I'm going to make this one into a display wine stand. It's also going to conceal a bottle of wine. And this time I'm going to use chevron plywood to make the base before I start sculpting it. So let's get straight into it.
I hate buying wood, even if it is a wedding present. But lucky for me, I got these 2 pieces of scrap plywood free of charge from work. So let's cut them into strips and start gluing them up. Okay, so we got a nice block over there, we've got a nice big block down here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And even though this is a wedding present, I still don't like spending money, so I'm going to grab whatever scrap I've got and build up some emergency blocks. I'm still not great at doing these big glue up things. I can never get them right, never get them flat. But this big slab here is not too bad. There's 1 or 2 pieces that are slightly uneven, but apart from that, it's quite flat. This small slab here, again, apart from 1 piece, quite flat. The one that's got multiple pieces stuck together, that's horrible. That's uneven everywhere. I'm gonna have to trim that down. But first, we're gonna cut them into slants and then start sticking them together. I think I might have made them too thick. The blade is kind of struggling. Like all my projects, I only had half a clue when I started this thing. But with a really tight deadline and a limited amount of wood, I wanted to keep the mistakes to a minimum. So I'm trying my best to figure out what pieces are going where and what I need to cut. And that's kind of tricky when you don't really know what you're doing. Now that this piece is all dried, it's made me realise a few things. First of all, I probably need twice the amount of wood I currently have, so I'm gonna have to go get some more and do some glue ups, which means waiting for them to dry. And I should have started this a long time ago because it's now Saturday. I've only got 7 days to do this. Ah, God, I really need to get going on this one. In true scripted YouTube fashion, my friends Jack and Lee turned up with some beautiful looking scrapwood for me to complete the project. I am joking, it wasn't scripted, it was pure coincidence and I'm really grateful because I hate buying wood. But just look at how beautiful this scrap wood is, it's gonna make a gorgeous wine stand once I'm finished. After straightening the chevron pieces, I needed to make the base, which was just going to be flat plywood, but I didn't have enough clamps, so off I went to the local supermarket to get some cheap ones. With the base clamped, it was time to cut more angles, but as you can see, my saw didn't go all the way through, so I had to use a handsaw on each one of them. For this video, I have actually got a brand new table saw. That's because another McAllister table saw broke on me, so we've switched to an Evolution. On paper, it looks like it's the same as the McAllister, but it does actually feel a lot better. The blade adjuster is so much better, angling the blade, way better. The fence is miles better, and it's actually straight, and it just feels better, it's quieter. But after a week of use, it does feel like the blade is dulling, and that leads to one of the downsides of some of the Evolution tools. It uses a 25.4 bore cutting disc. None of the shops around me have that size in stock. 30 centimeters seems to be the standard size in the UK. So I've ordered some wood-specific cutting discs, and whilst I'm ordering one for the table saw, I've ordered one for the miter saw as well. So hopefully it makes my cuts a lot quicker, a lot nicer, a lot better. Let's get to it. Oh my god, that was amazing. It's so silky smooth, it cuts so easily. I don't know if it's because I've got a wood specific blade now or my blade was that knackered. I should have done that ages ago, but let's see how it gets on cutting 50 different angles. Can someone please tell me what I'm doing wrong? I can't seem to cut a 45-degree angle. Measure the blade, it's at 45 degrees. Measure the cut, it's at 45 degrees. Go to stick everything together, it's not 45 degrees anymore. What the f? Now I've got to wait for everything to dry. That's it for today. Okay, I take it back. The Evolution blade hasn't dulled. The new wood blade has got a much cleaner cut. It actually shines in the light, it's that smooth. But it did cut really slow on these big chunky pieces of wood. The Evolution blade has a rougher cut with a few teeth marks here and there, but it probably cut twice as fast, if not a bit quicker. Good job, Evolution. No matter what I tried, I couldn't get my drop saw to cut a perfect 45-degree angle. And even though it's only slightly out, it means the block won't stick together properly. I also noticed the horizontal cuts were skewiff and I couldn't fix this either. At this point I'd normally just give up, but this was a wedding present, so it gave me an excuse to go buy a new saw. Even with a brand new saw, I still wasn't getting perfect 45-degree angles. If I'm doing something wrong, please let me know. If not, I'm gonna send this saw back. Even though they weren't perfect, they were only just out, so I decided to try stick the blocks together and see how badly they turned out. The last three are glued up. I've still got the ones that have dried over there. They're going to need a lot of work fixing. Whilst they're drying, I'm going to move on to the base. There's so much prep work and I haven't even started sculpting it yet. I don't even know how this thing's gonna look once I've finished, but if it turns out how I've pictured in my head, then it's gonna be one of the fanciest looking wine displays you've ever seen. And with that in mind, I'm gonna start trying to figure out how it's gonna hold the wine bottle. Last time I did a sculpture, I just went at it with the carving bit and it took forever. This time, I'm going to try chop as much of the excess away before I even stick it together, and hopefully I should save some time, effort and mess. I completely forgot that I actually need a solid top piece. Wow, 8:30 on a Sunday night. Finally ready to glue this together, but I can't glue it together properly because my clamps aren't big enough. So I'm going to clamp it in two sections and then wake up early and glue those two sections together so it's ready for when I get home.
Well, that wasn't entirely right because I forgot to trim the base before I could stick it together.
All the pieces done. It actually looks like I'm making cakes. Right, I'm going to bed. This is the bit I hate, because if you think my workshop is messy and covered in sawdust now, wait until I start carving this thing. The electric chiseler thing didn't work that well at all, so I'm moving straight on to the Destructo disc.
By this point, the wine stand sculpture had started to take shape, and some of you may have already guessed what that shape is.
For those who are new to the channel, or maybe just new to this video, my name's Chris. You've been watching me make a giant cock. Now, before you start getting angry and asking for the manager, I haven't lied at any point in this video. It is going to be a wine stand, and it is going to be a wedding present. Now, if you are feeling angry and upset that you have watched a video about making a penis, you can watch to the end and find out how I turn it into a wine stand and see my friend's reaction when I give it as a wedding present, or you can stop the video and give me a thumbs down. It's totally up to you, but I need to crack on with this because I've only got 3 days left.
Now Thursday, and I've run out of time. This needs to be finished today because I need to give it a coating. It needs to be dried, ready for Saturday morning. I've got some small detailing left to do, and then I need to give it a very fine sandpaper with smaller grit sandpaper. I said sandpaper 3 times there. And then we're gonna give it a coat of something. So let's get into it.
By this point, I wasn't really concentrating on what I was filming because I needed to get this thing done. In the background, you can see me there making the little trap door that is going to secure the wine bottle in, and I'm not being very safe about it either.
Camera died whilst filming that, but it is now silky smooth. Ooh, that is a weird place to stroke it. So now we've got to give it a coating. And Rubio sent me this 2C tester a while back and told me to tag them when I use it. But I've been waiting for a special occasion. And there's nothing more special than a wedding, is there now? So let's give this thing a test.
I'm going to try to keep the outro short because this has been a long one. The bride and groom really liked my cock. During the wedding, I got a lot of compliments about my cock. And of course, there was lots of people who took photographs of my cock. So obviously it was a great success, but like all my projects, once I've finished, I see loads of ways that I can improve it in the future. The first one is the wood. Normally, I enjoy random different plywood colours in my projects, but once I started sanding it, I really liked the look of the wood that Jack gave me. It was consistent and it made the pattern look really nice. There's a massive contrast between the top pattern and the lower pattern. So it would have been nice to have a consistent pattern all the way through. Second was the base. I thought I was running out of wood, so I did straight plywood sections thinking you wouldn't see them. But when I started carving, obviously they got exposed, so if I was doing it again, which I'm not, I would do chevron patterns all the way through, so it was consistent once I started carving. The third issue was the door for the wine bottle storage. It's horrible. I don't like it. I actually finished that the Saturday morning of the wedding. It works, which is fine, and you don't see it, so, you know, it's not a massive issue. I really wish I'd come up with a better solution for doing that. And if you guys do have a better idea of how I could have done that, please let me know, because I still can't figure out how I could have done that better. Even though I didn't like the way the door turned out, the actual wine bottle storage in the sculpture was fantastic. No one actually knew there was a bottle of wine in there. The whole wine stand sculpture turned out very close to how I pictured it, so that's good. Rubio Monocoat, I've never tested that stuff before. It was very impressive. Like, it felt like it went hard within 24 hours. Like, that was, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, the colors were awesome on it, and yeah, I'll try it again. The actual wine stand itself, the way the bottle stood in the top was perfect, and the whole was just the greatest location ever. After such a big project, I have tons of really nice ply scrap wood, and I don't know what to build with it. So please let me know in the comments what you think I should build with it. I'm not building another one of them. It was a pain in the arse. But speaking of scrap wood, the entire thing was made of scrap wood, which means Turgworks, I'm going to be entering that in your scrap wood challenge build-off thing. And if you do stuff with wood as well, why not enter? It's a bit of fun. What's the worst that can happen? And there we go. The cock has been finished. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, if you've got any tips, questions, or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. If you could subscribe, that would be awesome. And I will try to get another video as soon as possible. See you later.